YouTube! How's it going? You good? I know what you're thinking. What the hell is a PS5 doing in my house? Well, don't worry, I've not lost my mind. I'm joking to all you ponies out there, it's fine. Don't worry, I don't necessarily think this is a bad item. I'm not like some crazed PC gaming fanboy that just hates on anything that's console. Not at all. This brings gaming to some of the masses. Xbox deals with the rest of them, the people that can't really afford it. Yeah, anyway, I just don't see the need for a console. But anyway, to the point, this thick boy PS5 is my mate's PS5, and it has a problem, and I bet we can all guess exactly what that issue is. I mean, might be written in the title. If it is, we'd still be able to guess, let's be honest. They all have an issue, and the issue with this bad boy of my friends, we're going to give it a clean, because this thing is vile. But you know, he's a gamer. Clean is not necessarily top of the priority when it comes to the console. But yeah, the problem at hand, the HDMI port. Obviously, from factory, Sony seems to attach the HDMI port with a little bit of chewing gum, and a few times of pulling it in and out, and it just lets go of all its connectors. So we are going to see if we can fix it. Well, we're going to fix it. I say see if we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. Like, I hope so. Anyway, I'm pretty confident that I can get the job done. It's the first one I'll have ever done, so we'll see. But I have a pretty good idea of what I'm doing. Anyways, I have a pack of 3, so I can fail a couple of times, you know. But I'm not thinking like that. Let's get this job done. Obviously, most of the work that I've done with the Persevere hot station here has been on that controller, and the motherboard in here is a little bit different. I'm gonna have to get more heat into it, but the principle is still the same. Protect the components that might melt, heat the area up to make the soldering bit a lot easier. Heat the connector, get some low melt solder in there, heat the connector up so that it lets go, clean the area, empty the holes, re-tin it, put it down, flux, heat, squeeze, touch up with a bit of solder, make it a little bit stronger than factory, and clean everything up and put it all back together. Also, we're going to have to reuse the liquid metal that's on the die, so I'm going to have to be a little bit careful about the angles that I take so that there's no chance of that running off. Obviously it's got its little moat, and if there's any sort of, there will be oxidization on the cooler and the die side of the liquid metal. We're going to have to clean that off, and then hope if we clean it off right with a bit of alcohol and that, like, all the liquid metal should just drop into the moat, and then we should be able to just push it up with like a Q-tip or cotton bud if you're British. Just scoop that back up, and that should just hop it back onto the die once the die is clean. And we'll do the same on the cooler side, and then that should sort it all out for when it sandwiches together. So yeah, we're gonna have to be a little bit careful with how I approach this, but we're gonna pull this apart, get this swapped over, and get this fixed for my mate, and hopefully make it a lot stronger than it was initially. But yeah, we're gonna have a crack at this, get this apart. I'll strip this down, and I am going to give this thing a clean, because it's friggin' revolting. Look at the state of it. It looks like I don't even want to know what some of these stains are. Exhibit A on that top knuckle. I'm not going to expose my friend's name with questionable stains like that on splattered across the top corner of their PlayStation. I won't let them know who you are, Jono. I'm already messing. He's got kids. This could be literally freaking them having a tantrum, or just being kids and drooling and shit. But a little questionable. Obviously, it's scratched up to buggery, and yeah, it's had some It's gross. It's the easiest way to put it. The thing is gross. So we're gonna give it a good clean. Even like there's crumbs and shit in the disk drive. This thing is gross. So what is that? It looks like a tooth growing off the bottom of the friggin' PlayStation. Oh, this thing's gross. So yeah, we're gonna clean it as well for him because shame on you, my friend. Shame on you. This thing is fucking gross. Anyways, let's get this thing apart and get it fixed, shall we? Let's go. All right, so yeah, we've run into an issue. But before we get into what the issue that we've run into is, let's go through what we've got done. So obviously I've cleaned the thing because holy crap, it's vile. Yeah, I'll just throw up in the corner what's going on. You know, it can go. What I've got done so far, I'll have that play up there whilst we talk about it. So yeah, obviously I've cleaned the thing because it was disgusting. Like, it took some scrubbing. It was disgusting. So yeah, so the whole thing's been cleaned completely through. So as I took it apart, obviously I cleaned it as I went. He's also had quite a lot of scratches and stuff on the around the USB and stuff on the front of you. We all know how that piano black plastic is made of like butter, and like you only have to look at it in a sharp way and it'll scratch. So I've come up with a solution to try and tidy that up a bit, but that you'll get to see that in future. Obviously we've stripped it down. Stripping it down. I'm not going to lie, guys. The PlayStation 5 is quite literally the NVIDIA Founders Edition of the console world. The amount of screws there is to just hold this thing together is ridiculous. And they're all different sizes and lengths, so you got to remember where each one goes. It's not for the faint-hearted, just unscrewing the friggin' thing. Like, it got ridiculous when there was like, I mean, obviously the initial disconnect, the initial breakdown, almost every screw is friggin' different. And then you've got this plate that's got like, I don't know, like 25 or 30 screws all over the top of it that you've all got to undo just to get near the motherboard, which was a pain in the bum. But you know, these things happen. And then obviously stripped it down, took it apart. I did clean. I didn't really film it, but I did clean the liquid metal. It did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Cleaned both plates, put the liquid metal back up on the plate, and then squished it back together. But we'll get to that in a minute. Obviously, I stripped it down, and then I heated the board up, removed the old USB, and as you can see here, don't know whether it's going to focus, but you know, the thing's not bad. The thing is not bad. I didn't heavily melt it or anything. Like, it came off nice and clean, to be fair. The pins there were a couple of pins that were wobbling around in there before I removed it, so it did take some work, but no, came off nice and clean, to be fair. I was quite happy with that. So yeah, obviously cleaned everything up, retinned it, got the new HDMI port on, and just as proof, I do still have two. It only took one go, but unfortunately, after I'd heated the new one on, so obviously you heat it up so that all the little micro pins there all connect to each of their individual pads from the tinning. You heat that up first, and then you flash over them afterwards. So I'd heated it after you put the anchors in. So you use a heat so that these grab, these here, get them to grab, and then you can flip it over, get some soldering on the anchor points, and and then bring it back, and then you can just tin up the top, make sure that there's some solder for the anchor points on the top and the bottom. Make sure that that's like, you know, like properly flowed into each other, so it's a nice solid connection. And then obviously just a quick tin over the top of the of each of the pins. So I was already there. I'd heated it in. I was just checking all the pins. All the pins were fixed nice and solid. And as I was checking the last couple of pins, I noticed something missing. Basically, these HDMI ports over, I don't know which pin it is. Like, so shout out in the comments what number pins they are. I don't know which side it starts from. I just know how to physically do it. So someone please shout up in the comments between which two pins it is. But as you can see on the photo here, there's supposed to be, I think it's a cap. Well, it's a cap or a resistor anyway, a tiny little thing that's smaller than a grain of salt. Yeah, you'll see between the two pins, there's supposed to be a little cap there. Now, I don't know whether that was missing in the first place, because he said that the problem was that sometimes it worked, sometimes it wouldn't. Wiggling it helped, which would make sense with the loose connectors, but I'm guessing that could have just happened from him attempting wiggling it. But he said sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, depending on where he was, time and stuff. Like, so it could have just been that this little cap was missing, and because he moves from, you know, sometimes he's at his bird's house, sometimes he's at his house, sometimes it's like say upstairs or downstairs, it can move about, you know. So he could have literally just been missing that little cap, and it wasn't working when he was plugging into his like high-end, high refresh rate 4K monitor TV. So that might have just been his issue anyway, and he caused the pin issue by wiggling it to try and fix it, to try and get a signal. So I don't know whether it was there in the first place or not. All I know is it's not there now. If you're wondering, that cap is basically, I checked, and theoretically the unit should work without it, but depending on the TV or monitor, or the age of the TV and monitor that you're using, the thing is, what it does is it filters the signal, gets rid of some of the noise, and high refresh rate 4K monitors and TVs and stuff are they're quite delicate. When it comes to the signal, they're quite delicate with it. They want a clean signal. They react badly to any sort of poor signal. So yeah, that's what that's for. So what I've done is I didn't finish tinning off over the top, because I figured I may as well do that when I put the cap in, because I'll be on a smaller point and it'll just be nicer, and we'll just flash over and it'll be nice. And all I've really done is I just threw a dollop of solder on the anchor points underneath so that it doesn't move, because it's already connected to the pins. And I've put the PlayStation back together. Obviously, because of the liquid metal, I couldn't leave it open as long as I needed to order the parts. I've got to wait till the end of the month. So this video was going to be waiting until the end of the month, but I promised you guys in the last video or two that I was doing this. I literally mentioned it in the last video, and I'm sick of saying stuff and then something happened, and so it doesn't actually happen. So I'm here to give you this video. There's going to be a part 2 when I get the parts, and then we'll go over all the soldering and stuff. But until then, this is what you get. It's not fixed, to be continued. But next video, I've got all the parts to finish the custom job on the 5070 Ti and read on it the 5070 GTI. So stick around to see that, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Love you, bye. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share. Like and subscribe. Thank you.